Hey guys, this is Chicken Guardian from Chicken Guardian's Adventures, and also from Mystery Angels. So this might go up on the Mystery Angel channel only, these ones. Okay, so if you're, I'll let you know, but if you're wondering if it goes up on Chicken Guardian's channel, this might be just up on one channel. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so oh yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, press the notification bell to keep you notified of any updates that I put out or videos I put out. If you don't like, please press don't like. Please leave your opinions down below. I would much appreciate it. And let's get on with it. So this video is about Hunter. Yes. So I think Hunter was 88% could have been part of the disappearance of Summer. Hunter, or Macbeth, as he's known as well, or H, has ADHD and he's a 15-year-old boy. He knows the Wells' family home and area like the back of his hand, as he spends a lot of time with them. His mum is Alison. He says that Candice's mum, Summer's grandmother, is grumpy and can be aggressive. He knows Don. It says Don's controlling. He needs Summer, which is Hunter, or Macbeth, as you want to call him, is Summer's adopted brother. He knows Summer and the brothers. He knows the dogs, and the dogs know him very well. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so first things are, he gets smokes and alcohol and drugs from Candice. So we all know why a 15-year-old boy will be hanging around with a 30-something-year-old woman or 40-something-year-old woman with young children. Is the fact that he can be big and get alcohol and cigarettes that she will buy for him. Also, he could be hanging around with the kids and that and be a babysitter and get paid because he hasn't got, his mum doesn't look like she's got much money. She looks like she works but hasn't got much money. So therefore, how would he get alcohol, drugs and smokes when he's down at his girlfriend's? To look big in front of his mates would be to get Candice to buy it for him. So he could be the babysitter as well. So with that, Hunter, I would call him Hunter in this, also knows the area, knows the animals in the area, knows the woods, knows Candice, knows the church, knows everything about everybody, including Jose, right? Also knows that the CPS is coming and there's a chance that somebody could be taken away and the boys could be taken away, okay? He spends the last days with Summer, the last day with Summer, right? He says Summer was awake when he left. He corroborates that with Candice, and Candice says the same thing. He's apparently spent all day with them from 10:30 a.m. till 3:30 p.m, which then he went inside, called his girlfriend, he was picked up by 4 p.m. at his girlfriend's house. By 6:30, when he got the phone call, he was hanging out with his girlfriend, and the girlfriend's mother dropped him off at 8 p.m. In the meantime, he phoned his mum because Candice phoned him and said Summer's missing. And he thought Candice was just drunk again or on drugs again. So obviously they brought more than just twisted tea. He obviously knew that she had alcohol and drugs on her for him to assume that she was drunk at that time at 6:30. But there's a thing saying that 5 o'clock she gets drunk and gets high every day, right? So the reason why I think he's 88% the same as Don is because He knows everything, the movements and everything. He wanted to come up that day to see the boys and that. And Candy said when she was being interviewed by Chris in the interview room, she turned around and said, "No, boy, you're going home. We're busy." But she never tells him what she's busy with. So he'll assume CPS is coming, so obviously they're going to be busy cleaning up for CPS. Right? Hunter says that they talked, had smoke of Baki or whatever they call it, the electric cigarette, had some twisted tea, and they were chatting about what had happened with Jose, Alison. He says he hasn't seen them for a year, why he blocked them, stuff like that. But my opinion is, why would Candice phone him and say Grandma's in hospital if they hadn't seen each other for a year? Why that day that summer went missing? It doesn't fit. So it says to me that he wanted to say that so he wouldn't get in trouble. And he told Alison he was no longer seeing her and that, but secretly he was going up and seeing the kids and hanging out with Candice. That's my opinion. No proof of it, my opinion. This is why I think he's 88, could be. Also, if he thought he was going to lose Summer, or he saw the state of Summer, shaved head, we know there's a photograph there that he already knew that Summer had a shaved head. But don't forget, he saw her swimming. What if he saw bruises on her? So let me take it this way. He's got ADHD, right? So he's very hyper. And then he's swimming. He grabs hold of her, apparently, out of the pool, because apparently he thought she was drowning, whatever. Jumped out the pool, and what if he saw bruises on her and said, "Summer, where'd you get them from? Mummy did it, or Daddy did it, or whatever. My brothers did it. They keep beating me up. They keep picking on me." So what if Candice told him CPS is coming and I think we're going to lose the kids? So he's texted his mum why Candice was doing, because Candice was on the phone doing TikTok. The grandmother was trying to get her minutes on her phone. He was drinking twisted tea, smoking, and apparently chilling. According to Candice, he ran off, so obviously he needed a wee, right? But in this family, apparently you don't need there's no bodily fluids. There's no time for the fluids or eating, apparently, right? So this is what I reckon. H knows all the environment. He knows all the areas, up and down, inside and out, dog trails, everything. Number two, he also knows the dogs. And he knows when they're fed, when they're not fed. Are they hungry? Are they not hungry? Have they got babies? Which ones to avoid? Which ones not to avoid? Right? He also knows how to keep them busy. He's got a dad that came down with 13 other people, including a guy called Jose that was talking to his mum and could have been dating his mum. So he's not interested in that adult stuff. Believe me, he's not. Right? Because at the end of the day, he's not going to let his friend go, Candice, that can get him alcohol, booze and drugs, because he's big in front of his mate. That's why he did them gang signs. And that's why Candice is doing gang sort of stuff, hoodies up, smoking, stuff like that, gangster type things, because they think they are gangsters. And a 15-year-old boy with all his mates going around Candice makes her feel wanted, because she's not made her feel wanted by Don. She's not feel wanted by anyone. The kids don't need her. So she's sort of like, everyone looks up to her sort of thing. But it's not. It's the fact that she can give them alcohol. Right? So we know that H has got a girlfriend. We know that H Hunter's girlfriend's mum picks him up and drops him off. And that at the time Summer went missing, he was at his girlfriend's house, hanging out. Obviously, with some alcohol and some stuff he got during the day, like the cigarette and that, right? So he's hanging out, gets a phone call at 6:35, apparently. But the police will know more about the times. And this is where I know it's not going to fit. Because from 8 o'clock in the morning, I don't know about you guys, but 8 o'clock in the morning, by 6:30 comes, there's still not enough time in the day to do stuff. The amount they've done that day, there's no way you could fit it in them hours. No way. Not including breaks for toilet, breaks for food, and making food and feeding kids and stuff like that, and animals and stuff. There's no way there's enough time. But that's up to the police to sort out. This is just my theory. So when they phoned at 6, she phoned at 6:35 and said she's missing. He proceeded to phone his mum at 6:45 and say, "Mum, I think that she's stoned and drunk again, and I've told her to look outside, but she said Summer's not out there and the boys are inside, and she said Summer's gone missing. Can you phone and find out what's going on?" Now, the one thing no one said is, did H and Alison go up to look for Summer? Or did Alison send H up to go and look for Summer? And how did he get up there? No one said that. So that's a question for us, right? Did Alison look for Summer? Did she go up there? Did H, his girlfriend's mum, drop him off at Candice's house? Or was H told to go straight home? And if so, why didn't Alison and H go up looking for Summer? All we heard was the fact that the church went up there. The 3-month friend from the church got in touch with the church teacher, which in turn was out. So he went up there and then managed to get in touch with her, and then she went up there and was looking. Church people were up there giving them food, giving the boys food, stuff like that. But nobody said anything about, or Alison or Hunter, hasn't said anything whether they went up to look. So that's a thing we've got to find out, guys. So anyone can answer that question. Did Alison and Hunter go looking for Summer that night? Did H go up there? Did his girlfriend's mum drop him off and then Alison pick him up? What was H and Alison doing that night Summer went missing? Where was they? That's the big question. Because if H and Alison went looking for Summer, then that percentage will go down. But if they didn't, then that doesn't make sense, because he made it very clear that the person who hurt Summer should go away for a very, 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 very long time and should be punished badly. This is what Hunter said. So if that's true, then did Hunter go up and help look? And how long for? Because Hunter said, I don't think she left. I think they did something to her. And Alison said the same thing. Oh, she hated her sister. When it was her sister's anniversary, 10-year anniversary, her mum was crying and she was sitting there saying, the bitch is dead, who cares? She died years ago. She's probably run off with some bloke, blah, 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 right? But what she didn't say was, Yeah, my son called me. I called Candice. Candice said, yes, she's missing. I've called the police and that. So I got in the car with the kids, and I went and picked up Hunter, and then we went up there and we stayed up there looking all night. She didn't say that. Hunter didn't say, yeah, when I got the call and that, my mum called me back and said, no, it's real, she is really missing. I got my girlfriend's mum to rush me straight up there, and then I wouldn't stop looking for her because she's my little sister, and I was very worried. He didn't say that neither. So I'm putting myself in his shoes because I can't put him in Alison's shoes because she hasn't got ADHD and she hasn't got autism. But I can put it in Hunter's shoes because I've got the mind of a 14-year-old and emotional age of a 5-year-old. So I can deal with that. So what would a 15-year-old boy be doing with a woman? It's plain and simple because he can get that and look cool in front of his girlfriend. 2, Candice acts like a gangster just like him. So he thinks, oh yeah, I've got an adult there that acts like a gangster. I can get free stuff. I can babysit, blah, blah, blah. Right? He might be 15, but he might be less in age mentally and emotionally. We don't know that. That's a big question mark. Hopefully he gets to see a psychiatrist that diagnosed him with ADHD, would have also diagnosed him on what his mental age was and what his emotional age was, like I got done for everything. Right? So, but if I'm near Hunter's age in mentally, right? And near Summer's age, like emotionally. So mentally, I would be sitting there going, I've got ADHD. I'm hyperactive. I've been hyperactive all day. I've just had drinks. I've just had smokes. Maybe some weed and that's calmed me down a bit so I can think a bit clearly. First thing I'd be like, what? Someone's missing? For sure, Mum? Yeah, right, come pick me up. Or I'm just going to get my girlfriend's mum to drop me off at Summer's. Can you please come and help look for Summer? She's gone missing. But they didn't say that. In the interview, he only put his opinion forward that he thinks they've done something because Summer wouldn't leave. But not one of them, not Alison and not H, said that they went up and looked. So it'd be interesting to see, did they go up and look that night? Did they join the search party? Did Alison take her children up to help look for Summer? If you think that's bad, just wait till you hear what I've got to say about Alison, right? Alison lied and looked like she had it in for Candice because obviously Candice ruined a relationship, right? Alison made it very clear that Candice was a no good, nothing parent, and also very, very bad person, a user, a drug addict, and that she shouldn't have had the kids. She was very, very adamant about that. You could tell by her face that she had the hate in her eyes. So if that's true, could this have been a setup to prove to people? And did she use her son H to be like the narc, the person who would tell her where they were so they could do something? Did they, in their minds, rescue? Did H call his dad and said, Dad, will you help me because Summer's going to go into, CPS is going to take Summer away and she's only 5 and they might hurt her in there. They might, she's young, she's 5, she's blonde, blue eyes. They might hurt her because Candice might have frightened him into believing she might be abused. Right? So he could be frightened of that and has asked his dad to help. And maybe, because Candy said he called her. So maybe this was set up already and it was just a coincidence that when he called her and said, "Where are you?" He went, "Oh, I'm at the hospital." That was a good opportunity to spend the day and manipulate Candice into spending the day out of the house. Maybe they were just going to go to the hospital and then maybe take Summer to the swimming hole, do some shopping and come home. And maybe H convinced her to stay out there longer. Maybe he ran into the bushes to hide, to make them stay there longer, to make their time there longer. Candice could be right. She might not be lying on that. H ran in saying, "I need to go to the toilet," ran into the bushes and then called his mum and said, "Right, we're here. Keep him for this amount of time because we need that time." H might have slipped in a sleeping tablet or might have said, "Here, do you want a sweet Summer?" And the sweet had a sedation medicine in it or something. Just saying, he could have. And that's why he insists that she was awake. Because maybe if they say, well, if she was asleep, why would you put her head on the cold? When you knew she gets cold, why would you put her head on the cold milk? Why wouldn't you lay her on the other side? Why did, you know what I'm saying? How come you sat on the drink and who gave the drink? Why the drink was in the back? There'd be all them questions. So if he just said, "Nah, she was awake, we were watching TikTok," then there's not many questions he can answer then, is there? So he could have slipped there. The sleeping, the sedation drug, he could have done that. Either through a drink or through a sweet that he had in his pockets or something like that. Just saying, this is just my ideas. That he was told to do that by Alison, and Alison got Jose to come down and say, "Right, we'll get her. We'll take her away. You've seen the state of the house. You've seen the state of the place. You've seen what kind of father and mother they are. CPS is going to come and take her away, and then that'll be it." And if H's dad loves kids and that and doesn't want to see kids in trouble, did he send Jose down and said, "Look, you're my mate, go help my son because my son's worried and I don't want him upset"? H's got kids. H's dad's got kids, right? So Hunter's dad's got kids. So what if he's got a young girl and he thinks, "Shit, if my girl's like that, I'd want someone to come and rescue her"? You know, Alison could twist it and make it sound worse than what it was. She could have told Hunter, "Listen, you know, when they go into these places, this happens, that happens." Hunter got scared, told his girlfriend and his friends, and his girlfriend and friends decided to go up, and maybe he said to his girlfriend's mother, "I just want to go check Summer's okay and that because she was choking when she went swimming. I just want to make sure she's all right." And Candice ain't answering the phone. "Could we just pop up there?" She says, "Yeah." Gone onto the bottom of the road. He's climbed up, gone up, saw that Candice was in there, saw that Summer was in the car fast asleep, picked her up, brought her down and said, "Candice wants me to take her to my mum, Alison," and said, "Could that we look after her because CPS is coming and she needs to clean up, so she's asleep," and carried her to Alison's asleep. And that's why he's getting confused on when he saw her asleep. Did he see her asleep in Candice's car, or did he see her asleep in his girlfriend's mum's car? I'm just saying possibility. Right? He also knows about the animals because he goes hunting in them woods. He also knows about Don and Dod's temper. So he could have said, I thought it was a bit strange that Don phoned Candice up and said, there's a guy who touches kids up on the farm, in his house. When I thought the boys were at work, I got told the boys were with him at work. Maybe he did get told that so he wouldn't panic and call his mum and say the boys are left alone up there, and they call CPS. Because Candice might thought, yeah, if Alison finds out that the boys are home alone and locked up because of fires and stuff, Alison could have phoned CPS. They would have gone up and saw the boys on their own and obviously broke in and took them with the police. So Candice, I do believe H, when H says, Candice said, oh, the boys went to work with their dad, because she didn't want H to tell Alison that they were on their own on the property, locked up, because she knew it was wrong to lock the boys in. You think about it, who had the keys? There's only 2 sets of keys. If Don had 1 set, the grandmother's got her own set, and Candice got the other set. There's no way of getting in if there was a fire, or the boys getting out if it was all locked up. Right? Exactly. And she would have gone with H. If H knocked on the window and said, Summer, come here. And go, yeah, go, your mum called, she said that you can come with us. And she's gone, cool. He goes, come on, I want to get my shoes on. That's all right, we'll get you some shoes at ours. You can wear my sister's shoes or whatever, because he's got siblings, hasn't he? So she would have gone with him, no problem. And what if he went, come this way, it's quicker? And that's why the dog smelt on the dog's trail the back of the smell. Because what if his girlfriend's mother was waiting at the bottom, and H, because he knows where to go, he was able to come down and carry Summer down on his shoulders. And this is what H was saying. Oh, I pulled Summer up and put her on my shoulder. What if he did do that? That was the truth, but it wasn't from the water hole he was doing that. But he actually did that to go where Don, you know how Don shows you how you get down and that? H would be able to, for the size of him, would be able to lift Summer up, put her on his shoulders, asleep or not, put her on his shoulders and go down through there into his girlfriend's mum's car, or his girlfriend's dad's car, or his girlfriend's cousin's car. I would look to find that red vehicle in that family, to be fair, the girlfriend's family. And then from there, H has got into the car, and that's why the dogs have followed that trail, because that's the trail H would take, wouldn't it? So let's look at it this way. Right, so here's the back door. Right, sorry about that, but, you know, we're only doing it quick. Here's the back door. He comes out the back door, past the generator. So here's the generator. Past the generator. Down the slope. Down there. And there's his friends. There's his girlfriend's, whoever that drove him there. The girlfriend's mum or the family member with the truck, with the car with the ladders, let's just say, right? Let's just say, right? So that's what car everyone saw, was his friend's car, and she was staying at the bottom of the lane there. And there's the bit on the corner. Can you see that, with the tree stumps and stuff? Oh, sorry, for the tree stumps, right? The logs. There's the way up. She was on the corner. So the dogs would have smelt the trail, because he would have said, come on, Summer, picked her up, would have walked out. She would have walked down to there. The dogs wouldn't have cared, because they know H very well, and Summer, and they're playing. So the dogs just, oh, it's normal. Summer wasn't distressed or anything to alert them. She's gone, they've walked down there, past that, gone down the big slope, and of course H has picked her up, because the big slope's deep, put her on her shoulders, walked her down, and then put her back down on the road, walked her into the car, and then they've drove off. Right? So they've drove off. Okay? Then Don's come past, seen the police here. Don's come past. So what time do you think that? So if she phoned him between 4 and 5 o'clock, if Candice phoned him about 6:30 and said that she was missing, between 4 and 5:30 he could have gone up, because he knows what time they eat, he knows what time they don't eat, he knows what time Don's coming home, he knows what time when Don isn't coming home, right? He knows when the boys go out to play, when they don't. So he could have texted Candice and said to Candice, Candice, what you doing? She goes, oh, I'm planting some plants. Where's Summer and that? Oh, Summer's playing with the boys inside. And then he comes up and says that. He comes up and says, right, she's at home, let's go. And he comes past to look. And there she is, playing with her toys in the bedroom, because he probably thought she might be on a swing, right? So he's come up and looked that she's not on a swing, and then looked in, and there she was playing with on the bedroom. Obviously that's not her bed, so she wasn't playing on her brother's bed. She was playing on her mum's bed, which is right by the door. You can see it. If you look in through the window, you can see the mum and dad's bedroom, right? So she was playing on the bed, watching telly, the big TV. Then, of course, he would see that, knock, say to her, Summer. And she'd be like, H, open the door. Do you want to come? Do you want to come and play with us? Mummy's busy with grandma and that. You want to come and play with us, me and my girlfriend and that, and have dinner? Yeah, please. And then, boom. The dogs wouldn't be bothered because, like I said, Summer would be happy. The dogs would sense that she's not in any distress. It would have been quiet. She would have said, oh, I haven't got no shoes on, Nate, so come on, I'll pick you up, don't worry. I'll carry you. You don't need your shoes. Straight into the car, gone. So the girlfriend and whichever person drove her wouldn't understand, wouldn't know what was happening. And it'd be like, oh, this is my little sister Summer. This is my girlfriend. This is my girlfriend's mum, dad, whoever it is. Oh, where are we going? Oh, can you take her down to mine? Or can you take her down somewhere? So maybe we should talk to that person with that car. Like I said, it's just what I think. What I think could be contributing to Summer's missing. So I'm 88% positive that Hunter had something to do with the disappearance of Summer via what I've just told you in this video. How, when, where. So what do you guys think? Is it a possibility that Hunter... Is it a possibility that Hunter did actually... Sorry, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Did Hunter... would it be plausible that Hunter would go up to see if she plays on the swing, because he knows she does, and wanted to protect her? And went up and saw her and said, do you want to come? And did something happen? Was he ordered to do that by Alison? So, you know, we'll be doing Alison next. Could Hunter have phoned his dad or Jose and say, oh, I'm in town. Alison's still talking to him and they've worked this out? Because actually Hunter was talking to Candice all this time. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Please like, share, subscribe, or don't like. Just press one or the other. There's a lot of my watchers that aren't subscribed yet. I would much appreciate it, and it will help this channel in the long run if you could. It's all free. All I've got is your time. That's all I'm asking for, and your knowledge and your feelings and thoughts. Okay, guys. Love your family. Love your kids because they grow so fast. If they're allowed to. Keep safe. And I'll catch you in a while, crocodile.